Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, I'm Dhiya Annisa Ulaya from 8 Plus class. In this video, I will convey and explain what I learned in the ELT curriculum course for one semester and also answer 3 questions related to the curriculum. Let's start with the knowledge I gained while studying this course. First, I gained the knowledge about what curriculum is in the world of education. In the field of education, a curriculum is a well-organized plan or series of courses that delineate the material to be taught within an educational program. It covers the goals, objectives, results of learning, teaching approaches, evaluations, and study materials employed in a particular course. The development of a curriculum plays a vital role in education, influencing students' learning journeys and offering a structure for teachers and educators. The second is about how to structure curriculum design, starting for examining the environment, assessing needs, deciding principles, setting objectives, and selecting and sequencing content, designing lesson formats, including assessment procedures, and evaluating the course. The third is monitoring and assessment. Monitoring and assessment are like the curriculum watchful eyes. Monitoring keeps a close look at how students are doing and if teachers are following the curriculum. It helps catch the issues early on. Assessment is about checking how well students are learning. There are 2 types of assessment. One helps teachers adjust their teaching or formative, and the other gives grades at the end or summative. Both monitoring and assessment help us make smart choices, give useful feedback to students, and improve the curriculum over time. They're like our guides, making sure everything is on track and helping students to do their best. The fourth is designing goals and objectives. Designing goals and objectives in a curriculum is like setting a clear roadmap for learning. Goals are the big picture, what we want students to achieve overall. Objectives are the specific, measurable steps to reach these goals. It's crucial that goals and objectives are well defined, realistic, and aligned with what students need to know. Goals provide destinations, and objectives are the markers along the way. For example, a goal might be to understand science, and an objective could be to conduct a successful experiment. The design ensures that everyone knows where we're heading and we'll get there and how we'll get there, making teaching and learning process purposeful and effective. The fifth is the curriculum in Indonesia. In the course of the history of national education, indeed has repeatedly undergone changes, namely in 1947, 1952, 1964, 1968, 1975, 1984, 1994, 2004, 2006, and 2013, and the latest is the curriculum Merdeka. These changes are a logical consequence of changes in the political, social, cultural, economic, and science and technology systems in the society of the nation and state. Therefore, the curriculum as a set of educational plans need to be developed dynamically in accordance with the demands and changes that occur in society. In addition to the 5 things I have mentioned, I also learned about various teaching approaches such as grammar translation, audiolingual, and others that have been implemented in Indonesia education. In the next session, I will answer 3 questions about curriculum. In Indonesia, until the early 1980s, English language teaching mainly relied on the grammar translation method and audiolingual method. These 2 approaches have significant differences in their teaching strategies. The grammar translation method prioritized the explicit teaching of grammar rules and vocabulary, emphasizing written language skills. In contrast, the audiolingual method focuses on developing oral language proficiency through repetitions and practice, minimizing the use of the mother tongue. Both methods, rooted in the structural linguistics, have a sequential approach to presenting language elements. The grammar translation method can be applied in scenarios that emphasizing reading and writing skills such as literature study or exam preparation that requires translation proficiency. On the other hand, audiolingual methods prove useful in communicative situations where oral proficiency is a priority, such as in everyday life or practical contexts like travel or business interactions. The 1975 in Indonesia served a replacement for the 1968 curriculum. It was introduced to address the shortcomings of the previous curriculum, which did not consider government policies in relation to the national development vectors. The 1975 curriculum adopted principles such as goal orientation, integrative approach, emphasis on efficiency and effectiveness, application of the procedural development of instructional system or PPSI, instructional approach, and the influence of stimulus response and practice. The subsequent 1984 curriculum, often referred as the enhanced 1975 curriculum, introduced the Mayday approach process. This approach emphasized the importance of the learning process by positioning students as active learners, known as Cara Belajar Siswa Aktif or CBSA. This model encouraged students to observe, classify, discuss, and report. However, the CBSA concept faced challenges in its implementation at the national level, leading to varying results in different schools. The 1984 curriculum also brought changes to the senior high school program by introducing Program A and B. Program A focused on the subjects such as physics, biology, economics, and language and culture subjects, while Program B aimed at the vocational skills. The 1994 curriculum further aimed to address the shortcomings of the 1984 curriculum. The learning process in the 1984 curriculum emphasized theoretical teaching patterns and neglected the content of the lessons. In response, Curriculum 1994 sought to integrate objectives and process more effectively by combining national and local content to meet regional needs. However, these efforts resulted in a very dense curriculum with advantages and disadvantages, as highlighted in the study and documentation. The Curriculum 1975, Curriculum 1984, and Curriculum 1994 in Indonesia exhibit both similarities and differences in their educational approaches. All three curricula share a common focus on aligning educational goals with national development objectives, showcasing the significant influence of government policies on the educational landscape. They articulate specific goals, including national education objectives, institutional goals, curriculum goals, and instructional goals. In terms of instructional method, each curriculum demonstrates a shared interest in effective teaching strategies, while Curriculum 1975 emphasized the Prosedur Pengembangan Sistem Instructional or PPSI approach and behavior response stimulus. Curriculum 84 introduced the Mayday approach process and emphasized student active learning through the CBSA. In contrast, Curriculum 1994 focused on integrating purpose and process, aiming to strike a balance between the theoretical teaching pattern and the lesson content. Despite these similarities, differences emerge in their philosophical foundations, with each curriculum bringing its own unique approach to educational goals and instructional method. The periodic revisions and adaptation reflect an ongoing commitment to improving educational system or practices in response to the changing needs of Indonesian society. Determining the best curriculum among Curriculum 1975, Curriculum 1984, and in Curriculum 1994 is subjective and depends on the variety of factors, including educational goals, teaching philosophy, and community needs. Each curriculum was designed to address specific challenges and objectives of its time. However, it is important to understand that the newest curriculum does not necessarily mean that the best curriculum, as was the case with the 1994 curriculum, which was criticized for overburdening students with too much national and local content. As comparison between the Curriculum 2006 and Curriculum 2013 in Indonesia show similarities and differences. Both curricula adopt a competency-based approach, emphasizing practical skills and holistic students' development. Both have similarities in the essence of the curriculum. For example, the scientific approach, which is essentially student-centered, where students seek knowledge rather than receive knowledge. However, Curriculum 2013 differs by placing a stronger emphasis on character education, instilling moral values and sense of national identity. Some of the differences that can be found include the numbers of hours and subjects, where Curriculum 2006 have fewer hours and more subjects than the 2013 curriculum, which has more hours per week with fewer subjects than Curriculum 2006. Curriculum 2006 emphasized more on aspects of knowledge, while Curriculum 2013 emphasized aspects of graduate competencies. There is a balance of soft skills and hard skills, which include aspects of attitude, skills, and knowledge competencies. And the standard for assessment are also different, where in the Curriculum 2006, the assessment is more dominant in the knowledge aspect, while 2013 curriculum assessment standards use authentic assessment, namely measuring all attitude, skills, and knowledge competencies based on the process and results. And of course, there are many more differences that I cannot mention in the video. The replacement of the 2006 curriculum with the 2013 curriculum is driven by the changing times, so that it is intended to prepare students to be able to compete in the future. Another reason for the curriculum change is the previous curriculum was considered burdensome for students. There was too much subject matter that students had to learn, which made it more difficult for them. Maybe that's all what I can say. That's all I can explain and answer the question. Please apologize if there are many mistakes in my explanations. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.